What a day to be alive. We did pray for days like this, and we are so grateful for the step we've taken. But it gets me wondering, have you ever been stuck in jam? Along the way, maybe you're going to village and you're stuck in jam along the highway. So, and you get to hear all these conversations, you hear stories here and there. Every border that goes by, there's a certain story being told. Every passenger in the taxi is trying to make it up to something. And that right there is why we're here. My name is Uncle Ray. I will be your host for Kampala Conversations. This is a space that is 100% dedicated to the real stories out there, the real ambitions of young people, the stories about the dreams, the realities about the hustle in the city. This will take a lot more than mere conversations, but rather bring you face to face with the dreamers in our city, the young people that are innovative, that have put their step forward to make sure things happen in their favor. Kampala Conversations is going to bring you innovators. It may be that young CEO that has just secured millions in funding, or maybe your neighbor, as long as they have the story to tell, a compelling story to tell that will inspire generations and generations of people. This is their official invitation. To the Kampala resident out there, I best believe this is your time to get connected to your city. Things that happen where you're not, stories that are told where you're not. This is the space that you will get to know what happens where you're not. And the only part you are going to enjoy most is the fact that you're part of this conversation. Always don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're always informed when we upload our next episode. Today in studio, I sit with a very ambitious lady called Winnie. We are going to have a conversation. We're going to have a story time and a good time as well. We're going to have fun while telling this all. I was drawn to your story. I was attracted to your story because of how quick, I'm not sure if it's quick, but how quick things seem to have worked out for you. We are going to discuss about how you juggle your life up, and I request you tell the viewers out there how it is and not to lose hope. So please, Madam Kiwi, introduce yourself to the people.
Hi everyone, I'm called Kisache Winnie Mtibwa, and aka Kiwi. Yeah, Kiwi is an acronym of my names. And I'm a young professional. I'm a geologist by profession. I'm also CEO of my own events planning company. It's called Planning Perfect by Kiwi. Small ad.
Shall get there first.
Small ad for myself. I do events planning, management, and anything events related. But most importantly, I'm a geologist by profession. I don't know, most of you don't know what a geologist is, so maybe we are going to
talk about that as well.
So I think that could be.
I'm excited. We are making this happen. But to start with, how did you feel when I reached out to you and I told you of my dream? How did it feel?
To be honest, I initially thought you were joking.
Was I? That sounded like I was joking.
It was over, I think, like a reply to a status or something. So I thought you were joking until you told me, because you told me, I'm starting a podcast. I'm like, most of us usually, we are procrastinators.
Yeah.
And also, because I also know it myself, I do procrastinate a lot. So I'll say I'm going to do this, or I'll start that, I'll start this, and I don't start it. So I thought you were joking. But then a few minutes later, I received a call. Day after, I'm receiving your podcast has been created and you've started your YouTube channel, and it was and I'm officially being asked to be the first guest, which I really don't take for granted. Thank you so much, Ray.
I really appreciate the fact that you honored the invite, even if it was on short notice. Most important of all is your story. I believe your story is going to have an impact to the young people out there. I believe your story is worth telling. And I believe your story is worth being the first on Kampala Conversations. to start with, what we are going to really discuss about is your transition from the walls of Makerere into the very unfamiliar environment of employment. So first, take me through about that moment you realized this is going to be my last semester. There will not be next semester for me. How did that make you feel while you were back at uni?
That's what I was so anxious because you know how I played a lot in my first year of uni.
Everyone plays
So-
a lot. Everyone plays a lot.
So I was too like that final year, you're like struggling to have everything right. You're trying to make
out.
sure your CGPA is raised. You're trying to make sure, you're going to, how are you preparing yourself for the workspace? So actually, me, I had the revelation not in that last semester, but in the I think that last semester, when I realized, okay, my grades are mid. How am I going to, and in the field I'm in, it's a competitive field. Most of the people that are there the people who studied years ago are still on that, people keep upgrading their studies. A degree, like a bachelor's, is bare minimum right now. It's almost like a form for certificate. In my field, most people have like 2 masters, a PhD, second, research PhD. So people are like very well educated. So there is that competition. Even the young people, someone at 25 will have like their masters already and they're on their PhD. You did have young lecturers at that age. So you can imagine how you're trying to position yourself. And I realized that, okay, if your grades are mid, how are you making yourself recognizable? Because everyone is knowledgeable, everyone is smart. So how are you adding, on top of being smart, what are you creating for yourself? So I say, participating in school events, like organizational events. We are lucky we do have like associations that combine like a lot of geoscientists, petroleum geoscientists, petroleum geologists.
That's really good.
That are in my career. So like, okay, it's like time maybe I joined an association. So I joined, I became like I luckily got like to be on the executive committee of one of them.
Hey, we're going to get there.
Yeah, like I'm giving you like, okay, like
we're going to get there.
Yeah, so
fast.
I did I say participating to make myself seen. How am I building up my CV? Because if everyone is having the degree, everyone is having great grades, everyone is having mid grades, how do you make yourself different? How do you make yourself visible to your employers before you even get into the field? That's what I basically did. Tried participating in different things where a number of CEOs would be, or a number of other like great people, even lecturers, to notice you, to know, you're great. This person is doing great. So even if they ask for a recommendation, they'll be like, she doesn't have that grade, but yeah, she will do what you want them to do.
I can append my signature on her document. So I like the fact that you realized you had to engage yourself in associations, because the young people out there may not see the importance of being in those communities.
Just the communities, but also people trying to make themselves when you go to campus, but like it's enjoyment. Yeah, it's nice to have the enjoyment. And also you forget, how like in high school or primary, you have like engaged with different clubs and all. I think it's supposed to work the same when at campus actually gives you like a bigger stepping stone. Other than people, you enter in campus, lecture out, find out what else happens. Yeah.
So then that brings me to my next question. You have spoken about making sure you position yourself in a way that it can be easy for anyone out there, maybe the people you associate with, to easily recommend you somewhere. So I would like to know, how has it transformed you? How has it shaped your perspective about employment in general, the transition from school to employment? How has it shaped your perspective about work? And most importantly, in your field, how has it shaped the way you see the energy sector, the oil and gas sector in our country?
One thing, as I mentioned earlier, the sector is very competitive. And unfortunately, if you do not have connections, if you do not have the grades, and if you're not an outstanding student, no one takes ordinary.
Yeah,
unfortunately, ordinary is not a thing in my end, because there are so many smart people. Like I said, you people who are very smart, who had like a number of first classes. People in the field, you talk to someone and someone is very smart. As I told you, people are very well educated. So if you're not outstanding, if you're not well connected, you might not get in anywhere. And if you're not lucky, so also the luck plays a part in it, because I would not want to say that go study, do what, but it's also a matter of luck, because some people have better grades, some people also try to make themselves outstanding, but it's not working in their way for them. Now, for me, my transition was a bit smooth. And because I also wanted to create something of like something of my own, because I know most of my classmates thought I would use like, I don't know if they're seeing, though they thought I would use most of my connections because I did have people.
They're actually watching.
Yeah,
They're
like,
going to watch
like I did have a number of connections, like maybe like family, and even the lecturers thought that maybe I would definitely, if I'm telling them I'm going to you're going to go in your uncle's company, you're going to work with the dad's this, you're going to do with this. But I wanted to. It was actually also a matter of trying to prove people wrong. You know, when you're trying to prove people wrong, it gives you that different kind of energy. So like, that
energy is
I will never want. Because up to now when I tell someone where I'm working, like, oh, so you're working with your uncle, oh, you're working with them. Like, no, not even close. They don't even give me that job. So it's about making yourself outstanding and exceptional, and also putting, not just about writing, love what you're doing. Also, try to love it. If you're not loving what you're doing, then pursue something else. If you got that degree and you don't like it, try to branch, do something. But it all comes from loving also what you do. It also plays a very big part in it.
So to take you back a little, you talked about positioning yourself and joining those associations. And as I was reading about you somewhere, I read that you represented you a winner. First of all, you won some competitions.
Oh yes,
Please tell me about that. First, tell me about that story. I told you.
I told you I woke up in my last 3 semesters. So that that was my last semester actually. I participated. It was an East African contest, paper writing contest for petroleum geoscientists by the Society of Petroleum Engineers. It was last year, give or take March. Yeah, so we did like, it was a paper writing contest. They gave us different topics to write on. And I remember mine was on the predictive maintenance in oil and gas industry. How AI, predictive maintenance, can enhance the petroleum industry. So as I still was really trying to do everything, spotlight myself, how am I going to be seen? That conference where I was presenting, that is a conference, it was an international conference for people from all over Africa, from all over the world. Those are CEOs. These are, great big minds. So I tried participating. I wrote my paper. I did my research. I wrote the paper. I tried putting in a lot of effort. And lucky for me, I was selected among the best papers. And that day I did present on the conference. And my paper was selected as the best paper. And I did win. So I became an award-winning paper writer.
Yeah, did it come with some money? So
yeah, it did come with some money that they didn't give me.
So you can remind them. First, you take your time and remind them you need the money.
I forgave them for that because it was just a bit of like internal, things that involve students sometimes. People try eating. Someone is trying to eat their, what do we call it in Uganda, in Jaulo, before they pay people. So end up having people suffer. They apologize though. And most importantly, it did help me, did boost me, because when I put it on my CV, when I put it somewhere, people who saw me then still recognize me now. And that money was 1 million, I think. I would have spent it in ways I would not remember. I would not think I would have anything significant for it. So it's still okay. I've made much more money than that now. So
Paul, I actually read your bio on LinkedIn and I was intrigued. It's quite a paragraph. It's quite a big paragraph. Someone out there should look it up. Yeah, I did. I really did my research. So you actually talked about presenting on platforms that are watched by CEOs. And could you please share that one inspirational story that you have had over time from university, the workshops and seminars you had, and your early stages of employment? Can you have an inspirational story that you can proudly say that this lady said this, and forever I'll stick to that? I always remember that. Is there that particular
Actually, I do.
What is it?
I do have. They're from 2 different people. There is one, she's the CEO of the Ghana National Company.
Give them their flowers.
Hi, Miss Prescovia. No, but the person that she'll see this. Anyway, she shared with us her story because she was a geologist. She started as a geologist, and by that time, in her end, she was the only female in her class, in a class full of boys. She did her best. She started with a ministry, and she did have a vision of what is now the Ghana National Company. Most people don't know that was actually like her own vision, while she was still in the ministry, to start a separate company on behalf of the ministry that will run the oil and gas finances, oil and gas, the production end of the oil and gas. And forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, but yeah, I like this. But she did have that vision. She started small because she did tell us how when she did start it, most people weren't interested. She interviewed a number of people and everyone kept asking, how much are you giving me? What are the benefits? And it was the beginning of it all. But most people backed out. And she did have to push it with her team, but as the only female on that team at the moment. And she pushed it where it is now. She's now the CEO of the whole company, and it's the company that's running our oil and gas in Uganda. Not just what we are drilling in Hoima, but all the inputs coming in Uganda. And what her story is really good. I actually have like a number of notes because whenever she speaks, I do take notes. Like in my notes, I have like a folder just for her because she says a lot of. Whenever she's speaking, I pull out my notepad. I pull out my notepad because that's not something you want to miss out on. She has the best.
Yeah. So you also have mentioned the fact that you have also participated in the STEM project. Still, I made that research as well.
A STEM project, not a project.
Tell me about the STEM thing. I didn't understand because I read it somewhere.
Oh, okay. So it's just empowering ladies and just generally students in STEM. STEM is the it's a science technology. The body that combines the people in the science, technology, engineering, and the mathematicians. So that's how I know the scientists. And no matter how many, like these days, there are of course so many people participate, like so many girls and kids doing the science end of the things, the STEM subjects, the STEM related courses. But it's still undeniable that we are still few. And then also the number, like the ratio of the boys to girls is still unbalanced. There's still many more boys and less girls. But also in the end, I'm just trying to empower students to join. Like if someone is smart enough or they are ready to work hard enough, because it's also just being about naturally smart, you need to be able to work hard. So if someone is ready to do it, I'm just empowering people in STEM, like whoever is in that category, who want to join, they want to push. Just up for STEM empowerment.
I know. Women empowerment.
Not so much, women empowerment, yes, because that's something I stand on strong. But generally, everyone, because sometimes when you do focus on the women, you also forget about the men.
That surely makes the two of us, because the women are the future of tomorrow, I believe, and that goes out without any doubt. So you have been lucky, I should say. You have been in a position where you are a policy advisor. I read still that you're a policy advisor. And as well, you are a project geologist. So how does that make you feel that you are doing something most people out there don't know about? They have a lot of myths about geology, maybe mining, things like that. How do you feel when you're in that position? You're doing something not very many people know about geology. You may walk down the street and people are telling
number
you,
of people,
and
it's actually a big number, yeah.
So how does it make you feel?
One, special because I love it. And I also do love what I do. So I love explaining what I do. So every time I actually tell someone I'm a geologist, I do enjoy breaking down what geology is, giving them that, because someone who can close enough and will be like, oh, so you said in rocks. I'm like, no, it's not just rocks. It's nice. A lot of components in it. If you're doing the mining, of course, there is the oil and gas, which is the petroleum. But don't realize that petroleum engineering is all lying under geology. The hydrogeology, which is the groundwater. So all that water, the clean ground, natural water existing in the wells down. Most people actually just see them as boreholes, but then that's the cleanest water source, and it's actually one of the major distributors of water. Because when you look at national water, it's mostly in the cities, but all these other places in Uganda are also being supplied by groundwater, which is the hydrogeology. There is a lot more than that. We do some components in space. We do some components in GIS, remote sensing, which involves the satellites and graphics images. Whenever using like a Google map, just know there was a geologist somewhere on it at a point. So there's a number of things. There's actually like 11 breakdowns of our field. So you can think about geology, you can be anything. You can be a geophysicist, a geochemist, can do a petroleum. You can be a petroleum engineer, hydrogeologist. There is so many. So I do love what I do, and it makes me feel special that I'm doing. Like, oh, it's of course few people like know about. I also underestimate it. Whenever people realize that, you guys will get jobs. You guys are few. People don't realize actually there is a big number. But remember, it's not like every year people retire. It doesn't work that way. The people who studied in the 1960s, 70s are still in the employment field. So you're also going to have to compete with them to level up. That's why I've told you it's very competitive on my end. People keep studying. Like, if you don't, a degree is bare minimum because you have to level up.
So that gets me thinking, what inspired you to join such a competitive field? When I personally wanted to be a lawyer, but then I realized I have not seen a prominent lawyer 25 years old. So I was discouraged. I'm like, when will I make 60 to be prominent like the prominent lawyers?
That's false. It's exactly. Things that discourage you because it's not. Exactly. They are people.
Those are the stories the young people out there are having about the dreams they want to pursue. So what inspired you to join such a competitive? Because I believe you didn't know it was competitive before you joined it, did you?
Actually, unlike most of my classmates, because most people do get geology, get it by mistake when they're given at university, or they apply wrongly and then they get the course. But lucky for me, I didn't know what I was applying for. I do have my biggest inspiration, my mentor, my biggest inspiration, who is my uncle. Shout out to Uncle Robert. He's a geologist, and my aunt and Charity. And my dad also has done some hydrogeology work. And I had a number of geologists to look up to. So I did know about the course. I didn't initially really want to do geology from the beginning because I did BCM at A level.
Oh,
so the plan,
such a big brain.
No, the plan was to be a doctor, but only I didn't really want to be a doctor. Not just life happening. You know how you pass. Because in Form 4, when I passed all my science subjects, I passed all my subjects, and I wanted to do chemical engineering. That was actually the dream. And I didn't want to do biology, but then I hated physics. Because can I give maybe a brief rap that I know I speak a lot? Yeah, so I wanted to do, when the whole of my O-level, I wanted to be an aviation engineer. But
you had big dreams.
Right, when I was in Form 4, at the time I was called to staff room by the teachers and I was told, what do you want to be? An aviation engineer. But are you aware that we do not have many of this in the country? We don't even have a direct, a bachelor's course in the country. If you want to do aviation engineering, you're going to start from a diploma in Gulu, and then you will have to do your bachelor's in South Africa or Kenya, but mainly South Africa or somewhere outside of Africa. And it's extremely expensive. Those are you're a very smart girl. You can do other things. Can you try something else? You look into other things. You're smart. Don't. So that dream was killed for me because now I realized you're looking up to something I can't be, which now I do regret because hopefully I could have figured something out. I could have worked it out, but our system is also sometimes limits us. The organized systems, our dreams are narrowed because when what is taught and all, it's narrowing. Some of us have.
The system is
the dream rigged. Was bigger.
The system is rigged.
My dream was bigger than where I was. So I hated physics. That's all that I really hated physics. It just killed me because I did love to perform really well in it. I realized it was taking me nowhere because I couldn't do aviation engineering. I didn't want to be any other engineer on that end. So when I just wanted to do chemistry and math at A level, and because I didn't like physics and I passed biology, I went with BCM. So the dream at that moment was to become a doctor, but I didn't love it. So when I was presented with the options when I was applying, and Michael told me, but you know geology, right? How would you like it? So I made my research and realized it wasn't aviation engineering, but it involved a lot of movement. It's something I could do worldwide. Something that's everywhere, and it kind of resonated with another reason I wanted to do aviation engineering. I wanted to be all over. So I was like, okay, it's something I loved, and then I applied for it, I got it, and continue to love it.
So still on this podcast, we love to explore the hustle, the Kampala hustle. We love to get the balance between creativity and professionalism. However, I know you have been a victim of this. You have been a victim of blackout, sudden blackout. You're there watching a movie, you're maybe doing something that needs electricity, and all of a sudden, it shorts. So what do you think the young people out there are not giving attention to? What conversation are they supposed to have about energy in Uganda that they are not having? I don't know if that question is
I
clear.
think, I do get what you're saying. If there's one thing I would love to, I think actually two things, not one. I even know you yourself may not know the works we are having in Uganda, that we are doing our own preparations for drilling oil and gas in Uganda.
Apart from your status, I don't know it from anywhere.
And that's a conversation people need to have. People need to know what's happening in their country. We are sitting on a gold mine. We do have a lot of oil resources, petroleum resources, oil and gas seated in our country. We do have works ongoing in Bulisa, that's under Tilenga, and then also still in Hoima, in forgetting the exact district name, Kingfisher. For Sinok, we doing a lot of drilling works there. There is a lot going, right? The exploration was done. There is setting up the facilities. They've been building a pipeline to transport the oil from Uganda up to Tanzania, because for refining, we need to build our refinery, but our refinery is also in process. People don't know that Uganda has petroleum, oil and gas. They do not know that.
Yes, they don't.
They don't even know that there are two major projects happening in the country right now, and hopefully next year we shall be drilling for our first oil and gas.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
Our first oil. So that's a conversation people need to be having. We really can't be in that. I feel like there is so much underlooked. Like the only time actually it's looked when people are coming out to protest, when activists, like environmental activists, are coming out to protest, stop drilling, it's harming the environment. We're not taking time to understand that what we are doing, what's happening that side is happening safely. It's being it's environmentally cautious. The people know, none of the people in those areas are complaining because we're taken care of properly and we're incorporated in the systems. People don't know that. People really do not know, because what's someone, are we drilling well in Uganda? Like, where, what? Can't even guess where. So that's a conversation we need to be having. People need to know what's happening. People need to get more involved, because some people actually may miss opportunities. Like, you would not know how you fit in the oil and gas industry. You would think that, it's only for the engineers, petroleum, but you don't know that they also need the finance people, they need the other people. It's a whole different hierarchies that are involved in the oil and gas industry. We need to have that conversation.
I actually didn't know about that, because I'm a banker by profession. I'm a personal banker with United Bank of Africa. I didn't know I can be in the oil and gas sector when I did accounting. So you can, that gives me,
because you forget these companies are also companies.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're making money, we're not doing something for charity. So even charity still has accounts happening in. So at the end of the day, you can participate, but because you don't even know that things are happening, you don't look out at these companies, you don't have them on social media, you can't even know when they've announced like a job or something you really don't know about. So that's underlooked. And also our renewable energy and geothermal energy, it's also something we're seated on and we don't know. But me personally, it's just the oil. It's just it like blows my mind that it's happening in our country and almost 95% of the country doesn't know what's happening in their country.
Exactly.
Like, that's a conversation people need to have.
And that's the reason why spaces like this have been put into existence. We love to spotlight such conversations to let the young people out there know how beautiful the country is, how beautifully
very rich country.
Exactly. So you've spoken about the Bulisa project and the quite a number of projects that the oil and gas is really operating. So I want you to tell me how the experience is working in the field, then the boardroom, when you're back at office. How does it feel?
Actually, personally, I don't even do. I'm not doing the oil. I'm not part of the oil and gas project. I would love to be, but my company is in the project. But personally, I'm not actively in the petroleum bit of it. I'm not part of the project in Bulisa. It's something I'll look forward to. Actually got lucky and I was introduced to something related to oil and gas by a renewable energy source, which is geothermal energy, and it's what I've been working on.
Because the other day I saw you having a lot of rocks, and I was like,
just very good.
Field.
Yeah, we do go to field. You go to field because you have to see the geothermal energy. I'm talking about one of the major reserves or the major hotspots in the country is Chibiro, which is also in Hoima near the oil and gas project. So I do take visits there to go do some studying. Some of the work is a bit it's not for the public yet. But yeah, I'm doing in geothermal energy, which is closely related to the petroleum, all the works and all. But this is energy generated from heat, the naturally existing heat in the ground. Yeah, and it's also something Uganda is about to run into.
I've been so lucky. I'm talking to you. Unfortunately, we've been friends for so long, and this is the first time we're talking physically.
Yeah.
If you've noticed, this is the first time
Yeah,
we've talked physically.
it's the first time actually having a
And
physical conversation.
I'm so interested in your story. It is so inspiring. So you have been in a position where you have associated with fellow young people. Best believe you have what their brain looks like when it comes to energy transformation, renewable energy, things in that line. What do you think the future looks like in a young person's perspective after being associated with all those young people in the geothermal sector, energy sector, and the renewable energy sector? What does the future look like? Do we have hope in the young generation, or it's all lost for?
I think we do. Like when it comes to our end of energy, I'm so proud that of late, unlike maybe a poll came before us, they weren't having a lot of these associations active or a lot of these programs happening. But right now, even the people who do get that course when they don't know about it or they don't like it, they do leave when they like it. Those actually who pay attention, who like bother to participate. People do love it. People are very, very like optimistic. They have a lot of zeal and they are very willing to participate. People want to partake. Of late, I went back to uni for a conference where I was lucky to be like a speaker. And I got approached at the end by like so many like students telling me, oh, but I also wanted, we talked about this, I also wanted to do this, I want to do that, how can I start and all. And yeah, it was so encouraging to see that whenever I call for something like in the energy sector, the whole is filled. People are very like assertive. People actually want to know more, want to participate. It's just now up to our employers or the companies to give us opportunities because people do want to work. People do love what they're doing. So I know the future is actually really, really bright there. It's not going down anytime soon. The numbers of students have also increased. Allow me say that because in the world old age and that previous years we have like, oh, we're only 10 in the class, we're only 5, we're only this, but right now it'll be 50 in the class. Before it will be 60, and that's a very good thing. It just shows that the future is coming with.
I like the fact that you are already an inspiration to very many at such a young age. Save me the age number, but I know at such a young age, I love it that you are already an inspiration to many young girls and boys out there. So back to your career. So still, while I was doing my research, I realized you own an events company. If I'm not mistaken, do you?
Yeah, I do. So I'm a CEO.
So how tell me about the dream. How do you come up with the dream? Where is inspiration coming from?
So the inspiration, it's an events planning company, events planning and management, Plan It Perfect by Kiwi. It's dream called? Plan It Perfect by Kiwi. Yeah, so it's something I also like procrastinated about for long. Like you did say what you did with your podcast, like you said, I'll keep doing it, but it's not you're taking some time to do it. Something I did procrastinate about, and it's something that came from one of my skills. Now I tell you to mention some of your skills in your CV, whether something you're also really good at, something you're just naturally good at. I've always been very good at planning things. I'm a planner, managing things every time, even from way back in high school, if someone wanted to do like a party or something, they would not miss involving me because we have this, we have only just 15K per person or 10K per person, but we want to eat from this place, want to go do these activities. I would always pull it off, like having whatever and putting, it was something I was doing, but all those times I used to be doing it because it was not something I was looking at doing professionally. Because I always knew what I was going to. I said I knew I wanted a professional career, something I studied for. But I kept doing it even at campus, organizing conferences, organizing events.
That's really nice.
And then people started telling me, because I'm someone everyone calls when they need something. Like it's just, even if it's not events planning. Oh, I want to get this from town. Where can I get it from? Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. So I became that person to people.
You always the plug.
And yeah, I'm the plug of plugs.
Yeah, I know.
So,
nice.
So people, so like people say mentioning it to me, but you can get paid for the things you do for us. They can get paid for the things you did for us. I'm like, actually, if I look into it much, event planning is not something I need. It's not intensive, like capital intensive to start. If I'm doing planning and management, it's not very heavy. I can start with what I have. I can I can put it out there. How do I start? I made my research. I took some few courses in event management and planning online because there's a number of courses you can take. I did all those and then like, okay, so what next?
No.
For a while, I sat on it again, and then one day I woke up and I'm like, no. I sat down, went on my Canva, created my postcards, came up with my brand name, came up with the whole business plan, and then I put it out there. I remember putting up posters of coming soon, and then I put it there because it's something I also realized it's something I could do, multitask with my job, because I didn't want to quit my job. I want to have my professional career. I do love what I'm doing, so I'm not about to quit it. But I also wanted to do the events planning. And because these days you need a job for you, you need like 2 jobs to survive in Kampala.
Actually, let me tell you something. In Uganda here, you need 3 jobs, 3 sources of income to survive, and a little bit of fraud. You have to be a fraud somehow so that you can survive. Because if not that,
I'm actually doing 3 jobs.
I know, right?
You need your main job. You need a job. One, you need a job that can pay you salary. You need a job where you are assured of monthly, I'm going to get this much. Because now when you're doing you're self-employed, you can never know what you're making.
True, yeah,
Sometimes like even planning this whole month of September, I've not had a single event. Like I've planned on my own. So like you get business has not been there. So you need to have a job that will bring in money, will bring in rent, will bring in the necessities. You need to have, if you do have room, because I'm not good at multitasking, but now I'm a very good multitasker. So you need to have like a second, you get a second job to bring in, because now maybe your main job is enough to give you the basic needs, rent electricity, water. Now you need a job for maybe additional supplies of like
to maintain
food.
The lifestyle.
You need a job to also look good. But the people fake it till you make it. You need to look good. Even when you don't have the money, please don't look like your problems. You can't look like your problems. So you need to have a second job to make sure you're procrastinate that lifestyle you want. To look good, to do this, to go to places. It's also actually nice not to be in your place. Go to good places. You don't expect to find a good crowd in a place that's... So you need to have money. At least once a month, treat yourself to a nice place. Nice place where you get to interact with a person or two that are out of your class, a class you actually look forward to being in.
So how was your first event by Planet Perfect? How was it?
My first event was a birthday for my little sister. Yeah, it was actually unpaid.
Did they pay for that?
Yeah, it was unpaid, but it actually paid me in a way of content. It was unpaid by cash. Well, I wasn't paid money.
Okay, you tell me about that. Then you also tell me about the first professional one. Because aren't you to tell
It was a professional one. Listen, it was a professional event. I did it. I did all the planning. I did all the setup, and all. It was a very beautiful one. But I needed, in the events game, there's a number of people already there. You need to have something for your socials. You need to have a beautiful. You need to give that one person to trust you first. But because most people can't trust you first when you've not had anything, I had to do that sample event to pull it off, to have things to put on my social media. It was unpaid, but it actually paid more because I had my first social media posts. I was looking good, and that actually brought my next paid client.
How did it feel for the next paid client? Because
the money was sweet.
Because I want us to arrive to the point where you organize the annual general something. There's something you organize.
It's something I'm on, It's actually happening next week.
Exactly. So I want to drive me to that. But first tell me about that paid client, the paying client.
The paid client was a friend of mine. It was her graduation party. Shout out to you, Nicole. Thank you for trusting me. They did want something for her graduation dinner, the setup and all, trying to see how things are going to flow. I did pull it off. She trusted me. I gave her something within the budget.
I saw highlights on your story.
I pulled it off. It was very beautiful, and I did enjoy the money. Like, it's nice when like, there's a way that, like, I know salary is sweet, but money you've also worked
money.
on. Like, where it's you who did from the big, like, the business owner, that money is sweet. Like, it's really like, it gave me all this, like, okay, I can do much more. Like, I can do better. Like, and that day again, I still did have another corporate event I did organize. It was also actually on the same day, but lucky for me, it was at the very same event. Can you imagine having 2 events and you're about to drop one, but then you're told that the same venue, one is just up, one is down. So you can actually do
God was working in your favor.
Yeah, God was really working in my favor. So that was also like also sweet to also have that kind of like organize like a corporate event on the same day, and the other one, the graduation party, which was also pulled off. So it was very, very sweet. It was so nice.
Yeah. So now
And
On
now
to this
from
one.
then,
On to this one, we are your
yeah, so part of organizing the 11th International Conference of the African Association of Women in Geosciences. And actually happened the beginning before the grad party, but because the conference takes long to organize, it's been like last 8 months in planning. 7 months in planning. I was already on the team from February, but it's happening this month, next month on October 1st and 2nd. So it just took time. So I'm on there. People like, no, you're good at doing. People here, you're good at doing that. And remember, I've already organized like a number of conferences at campus. So that was also something still within. I know how to write a letter to like a good letter to the sponsors. I know how to coordinate. I know where to get the best of that. As I told you, the plug of plugs.
So you tell me how, because personally, my inspiration on, I want to ask you about feedback. I so much believe in feedback to the fact that I don't take it whether negative or positive. Feedback is always feedback. And feedback is at a greater percentage supposed to make you better, whether negative or positive. Because if it is negative, you just have to look the good in it.
Yeah.
So what is your feedback? Because I know along the way you've had challenges. We are going to get to that. But how do you treat feedback in all you're doing? How do you treat feedback?
I do love feedback because I'm a person who usually gives feedback. I do love to give my people who are open. Okay, sometimes it's uncalled for. If someone does not ask you to give them feedback, sometimes you just say where you are. But I do love feedback because I do love giving feedback. I'm a person who is on Google, I'll do rate restaurants, I'll rate experiences as long as I do have like a Google account. I'll do that. So I do love to hear what has gone wrong or what has gone right. To give me, of course, the go right will give you like more courage and okay, so this, and whatever has gone wrong, you do get to know that. But just if it's like negative feedback, it's not actually negative feedback. I don't feel like there's something like negative
there's
feedback.
Not negative feedback
Because it's all feedback.
All feedback is supposed to make you better.
Feedback is just feedback. There's no negative or positive feedback. Because when someone gets back to you, you expect if it's giving you like the other end of it, you know, okay, that I did that. Oh, okay, next time I'll not do that. Because sometimes the feedback is not even just related to you. Now, like as an events person, maybe you had like a service provider who for you thought you did pay and you know they are doing that, but they didn't do something right, or they maybe to 3 or 2 customers, they or guests, they maybe were abusive or rude. And for you didn't see it, but someone saw it. When someone comes and tells you, because now you're the holder of the whole event, they can't go complaining to them. You take it like, oh, okay. So next time you know that either don't bring the person back or you actually go and also address it with them that this and this told me this and that and that. You get their side of the story and you still try to correct it. So so I do love feedback.
Now, along the way, I believe the young person out there is afraid of failing. The young person out there thinks it is always a bed of roses. Unfortunately, it's not true. So, with your story, what are some of challenges you can highlight? Where from the transition from university? Take me through what challenges have you faced and how have you managed them? How have you tried to counteract them? Are you a victim of some up to now? Do you put your head down if something happens? Or you step your foot forward? What are the challenges you faced along the way?
When you spotlight it, someone has something in spotlight, it gets a bit hard to see, but
well, any challenges, generally, the challenges you faced and how you've managed to cover them up, solve them.
So, let me see. Of course, there is that financial bit of it. For some people, as I told you, I try not to look like my problems, and I'm also an oversharer. Like, I do post a lot. I update a lot on Snapchat. Because I do love to share. Like, if it's something I feel like, because even it's not just sharing, caring, but sometimes you're educating someone. Because when you say the things I do share, if I go to the field and share the things I've seen, I talk about my field, talk about my work experience, people get to hear and like, okay. There is that, and I get people like, as much as that people may be like, oh, you're oversharing. I get a number of people be like, oh, thank you, I didn't know about that. Oh, can I get more information? People actually come to my inbox, say like, okay, when you go the next time, can you please send me details? Like in my inbox personally, I need to see this, I need to do that. Like what?
To cut you short, I was so shocked when you were using Claire to make your face mask, something like that.
Yeah, it's actually called, it's bentonite. It's a rock called bentonite.
Yeah, it's a rock.
It's a type of clay anyway.
And you are using it for your skincare. I was so shocked. I'm like,
because those are things now. Like I have a that bentonite clay. If it's just packed in a tiny tin like this, sell it for 40K, just small of it. But it's just crushed. Whenever it's for pack, it's just crushed. They just get the rock and crush it
and pack it.
and just pack it.
And then
that's
sell
40,000 and sell it.
No value addition apart from the packaging.
Yes, just the packaging because it's already an exfoliator, naturally exfoliating rock. So as a geologist, I do know the use of it. I'm like, oh, okay, there is bentonite, and it's not like a rare, common thing. Maybe that's another thing that makes it expensive because people actually do look for it.
You actually need to get me one. I need to start doing skincare routine.
Yeah, so do love doing skincare.
Also, men are supposed to do skincare routine, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. You need to, there is no looking shabby.
I need to look
good. No, I'm not saying but maybe like you need to look. You need to look good.
I need skincare routine.
You need to
effective immediately. I should start skincare.
So I'm like, and I landed like I knew that bentonite was it's in Kaisotonia in Uganda. So when I did reach the field and I realized when Kaisotonia, so I'm like, let me pack myself some skincare. And I did. And you just use it the same way. You crush it, dip it in water, and put it over your face. I'm beautiful. Something that is going to cost me.
So as we try to wrap up the podcast, what are your parting shots? What is your small piece of advice you've packaged for the young girls and boys out there, the young people that are inspired by your story? What is that small package you have to leave them?
Let me see. One, comparison is a thief of joy. I keep telling people, comparison is the thief of joy.
I agree with you.
Because whenever you may be looking like, oh, Kiwi is doing this, or Kiwi is doing, what Kiwi is doing. But I don't know, Kiwi in the back doesn't even have transport, maybe take her back home. Or Kiwi, like, is not doing well. And also we have like different, it's life. We're all in our own races. We're all not, it's not a competition. We're all in our own lanes. We're all running separate races. We're not in competition with anyone. And as I've told you again, still comparison because you're trying to compare yourself. You also mentioned to me like you thought you would you couldn't do low because he didn't think of any prominently at 25 because wanted to be prominent at 25. Don't realize that those people who are 60 have also worked their way there. So in other words, you were 20, you were 18 or 19, trying to compare yourself to a 60-year-old.
I actually believe I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a lawyer one day.
It's not viable. You can't do that. Those people also took their time to do that. Just know what you want to be. Use them as inspiration. No, it's nice, of course, to make money young. You can, if you become a billionaire right now, to be very, very sweet. But it's not also supposed to be something you kill yourself over. You start becoming a fraud, you start becoming a liar, you start becoming a gangster of some sort just to be what other people are. Run your own race. Set your goals. No, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. But don't start looking, Banange Ham has extended his building. Ham has built more buildings. I don't have anything yet. You're 20.
I've actually shared.
Ham is he's 50 something or 40 something. You want to compare yourself to the same man.
I've actually shared with some young people I always talk to that life is a marathon. No one is supposed to. The goal is supposed to reach the finish line. As long as you finish the finish line, you have won.
Yeah, in a race with anybody.
Those that have dropped off along the way are not ranked. They only rank people that have reached the finish line. So run your race, take your time, and appreciate the baby steps you take. Someone out there is admiring where you are, even when you're still not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
You know that? Someone out there is admiring the Kiwi they are seeing right now, yet also Kiwi has someone they look up to.
Yeah, exactly.
So be grateful for the small steps you take, because at the end of the day, 1,000 steps begin with one step. Yeah,
and then next thing is confidence. As a fake it till you make it. Well, if you don't at this age, you shouldn't
you're
be those
proud
things.
To say that?
Yes.
Fake it until you make it.
Yes, it's not faking fake it. Fake if you know you want to be something, fake the lifestyle. Fake it, fake the confidence. Because confidence can take you so far. There is not, I heard you on something, me, I'm shy, I can't do this. Me, I'm shy, I can't. You see someone you could maybe buy in the supermarket or somewhere in a public place. You see a person or a CEO or someone in the field you want, and they're in a free environment, and then I can't go, I'm shy. What's shy? Fake it. Walk, go there, look like you know what you're doing, but don't know what. As long as you know you can't be, but you can. You're teachable. You can learn. Go. If they tell
Actually,
you this, fake it. Like yeah,
About
I can
faking
do
it.
this. I can do that. You go talk to that person. Fake that courage. Go talk to them because you never know what you're talking to them might lead you to a bigger something. If you're teachable, fake it. Say like, I'll do it. Never say no. Like I'm not a no person. Like if
Actually,
if someone tells me do something, or can you do this? Oh, I can. I good at this. And like yeah.
About
I'll go
faking
learn.
it, I was one time sitting with my mom, and my mom always kept telling me, Raymond, when you get your money, when you get 18,000, go to Serena Hotel, buy a bottle of water, buy a glass of water, sit there. People will think you're rich. And that is how connections come in.
Yeah, and
People
it's
find you in-
intentional. Like
Yeah, do it
an
intentionally.
intentional one, not a lousy go sitting at church.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
sit. Yeah.
Go there, spend a good time, so that you don't even be excited when I come and tell you, Kia, I'm taking you to 4 points. You don't get excited. You've been there before. You get. So I agree with you at a point to fake it until you make it. However, to round the show up, we have this important segment on the podcast where I ask you, it's called 5 at Last. We are going to be doing 5 questions at the last part of the show. So it's 5 at last, and I tell you something, you reply by what exactly first comes to your brain. If I say boy or girl, if a boy comes, you say boy. Are you ready?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm ready.
You ready? Boardroom, field.
Bedroom.
Uptown, or village?
Uptown.
Uptown.
Yeah.
Why? Can you give a reason for that?
Uptown. It's just uptown.
Oh, arts,
Yeah.
sciences.
Sciences.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Audio, visual.
Visual.
Why?
I do love to appreciate. I love seeing. Yeah. I feel like I listen more than seeing. It's like with
Oh.
captions.
Oh, okay. And lastly, one time or more over again.
One time more over again. Well,
One time or over again. Exactly, that's what I say. One time or over again.
I don't get that one. Like one time of
One time, let it happen once, or let it happen over and over again.
what exactly? I need context. That one needs a context question.
For example, a context like, should it be the first time? Should it happen only once to host you on this show, or it should happen over and over again?
Oh, you can ask me again. I've loved it.
No. I'm just saying. I've given you an example. I'm giving you an example.
Then it's as for that one needs context because one time I may be suffering, like
Generally.
suffering. One suffering many times and I pick many times.
Oh, all right.
So I need context for that one because the one time can be a good thing, the one time can be a good. So
I know, right? And it's been interesting having a conversation with you. It's something I was looking forward to having. I a bit had cold feet at the start, and it always happens for the first few moments. And it's such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Please feel free to come by when invited any other single time.
Thank you.
And to our lovely viewer out there, we would love to say thank you for watching till the end. And we still don't always get out of reminding you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, because trust me, the conversations have just begun. It's just getting better from here. Feel free to comment. Feel free to tell us where we should improve. Feel free to also tell us which topics you want us to discuss. Because the major vision for this podcast is to make sure that inspiration is given to the young people out there. We need to see a future that is built on very ambitious young people. Otherwise, from me and the entire team, stay inspired.